Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it has been a while. So today I will be talking about my birth story, Elijah's birth story, and everything that happened. I did not get to vlog going in because I was just in too much pain and I was just not having it. So yeah, so Elijah was born May 16th at 7:46 in the morning. The 2 days before, I was having a lot of pains and a lot of contractions, so I wanted to get induced at 39 weeks, but at that time it was 38 weeks, so they couldn't induce me that day. So on that Thursday, they set me an appointment at the hospital to come in at 12 o'clock at night to get in there and get induced. And I was already dilated by only one. So when I went in there, I filled out the paperwork or whatever, and then they sent me upstairs. And the ladies, I don't know, I liked some of the nurses, but some of the nurses were just flat out mean. They told Landon that he could not have a bed or whatever, because my mom was staying in the hospital room too. So she had the pull-out couch thing, and they told Landon that he could not have a little cot thing, so he had to sleep on the hospital floor. And so yeah, I just did not like how that went. But anyways, I got up there and it was about 12:30, and they was setting me up and they were telling me, I had to fill out all this stuff, sort of. And then I got into the gown, I laid in the bed, and then they came in there and they induced me. And they put my IVs in and whatever. And so I was having a little bit of pain, a little bit of contractions, but I couldn't feel them. She's like, "You're having contractions, can you feel it?" I was like, "No." So she intensed the monitor thing more or whatever, and I took a nap, and then all of a sudden I remember waking up and I was just in so much pain, and it was in my lower back. I didn't have really bad contractions in my stomach, how people say lower stomach. I had them in my lower back, and it was just intense. It was terrible. And finally, I hung in there for a long time because I was I want to get it at least dilated to 5 or something before I get my epidural. So I was just holding on, and finally I was getting an attitude with everybody in the room, and finally I was like, okay, I need my epidural. So we called the nurse, and they took 15 minutes just to get in there. And when she got in there, I was so bad, and she checked how much I dilated, and I was dilated to, I think she said 5, and I was like, wow. And I was really proud of myself, because the lady next door, she was I could hear her, she was crying and screaming. She's like, "I need my epidural," and she was only dilated by 2. And I was like, wow. But so I got my epidural. I was really scared, and this one nurse I really liked, she helped me out, but the anesthesiologist was just very, not rude, but a little bit of rude, I felt like. But it was I was so scared to get the epidural, because you have to bend over and they put this numbing stuff on first, and then I just felt a lot of pressure, and I felt it, and you can't move. When they say you cannot move, you really cannot move. I was just so scared I was gonna get paralyzed for some reason. So after that happened, it took about 10 minutes. I got in bed. I thought I peed myself, to be honest. I kept asking my mom and Lynn. I was like, okay, can y'all like check real quick? Did I pee myself? Did I pee? They were like, no, you did not pee yourself. And I was like, okay. I kept feeling I had to pee myself. And once you get the epidural or whatever, you cannot get up. So I was in bed, and it was about, I want to say about 3. So after that, no, it was 4. So after that happened, I was just out of it. It just like made me very tired, but it made me very like, it was like I was drunk. Like I was like telling Landon to come here, and I was telling him a bunch of crap, and I just can't remember. That's what they told me. And like, it was crazy. It was the best thing, actually. The epidural was just awesome, to be honest, because I did not feel anything. From my waist down, I could not feel anything. And without that epidural, I think I would have just been bawling in a corner because it was just terrible. And so after that, it was about 6:30, and they came in there and they checked me, and they were like, oh, you're 7, I think it was 7 or 8 dilated. I was like, okay. So they came in there and they were like, okay, we're gonna start making you push soon. And I was like, okay. And to be honest, I thought I was gonna last there all day in labor, but I really wasn't. I was only in labor for 7 hours, and that's like really, I was shocked, to be honest. But they're like, you're gonna start pushing soon. I was like, okay. So they came back in there about 7 o'clock. My OB doctor, they called my OB doctor. She came in there and she was like, they checked me or whatever, and they were like, okay, you need to start pushing. So I pushed it like twice, and she was like, okay, we're gonna have to teach you how to like push. So she left the room. The nurse came in there, and she had Landon hold my leg, and she held the other leg, and she was like, okay, you need to start pushing. And I was like, okay. And so she was trying to teach me how to push or whatever, like, you know. And I pushed, I wanted to say, no joke, 12 times. Because I just kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and I felt like nothing was happening. So my sister was in the corner of the room, and she's like, okay, just think of your favorite meal, something you've been dying to eat or drink while you were pregnant, but you could not. And I was like, okay. So I thought of that specific thing, and I just started pushing really hard. And it's really hard when you have the epidural because you can't feel when to push. They just tell you. So after I did that, all of a sudden the nurse saw his head, so she called the doctor in there. And he was born at 7:46, 7:45, something like that. And yeah. And he was 8 pounds. And he was a big baby. And he did a number on me. I'm just gonna tell you that. I'm not gonna go in detail, but like, he tore me really bad. And I had to get a lot of stitches. But yeah, but he was 8 pounds, and now he is 3 weeks old, and he is a trip, to be honest. But we are very lucky to have him, and it's been very hard. I am running on 4 hours of sleep, I think, but yeah. But that's just the update on him. My postpartum update. I have had postpartum depression. If you also don't really know me like that, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell y'all, I have actually depression, and then I have another mental disorder that I'm not going to get into, and then I have anxiety. And having postpartum depression and then having your regular depression on top of that is very, very hard, and it's very difficult. And then how I've been, if you don't know me, then you won't know because it's kind of personal. But the other stuff that happened to me or whatever, like a year ago, that's been piled on top of me too. And so like my postpartum depression has been real. but I give like all credits to the women out there that have depression, and then they have the postpartum depression, because that's just tough. But yeah, that's just my update on my postpartum depression, and I would show y'all Elijah, but he is sleeping right now. So yeah, but thank you for watching my YouTube video, and I will be posting another video soon, and I will be introducing him. So thank you for watching. That's the dog. Thank you for watching, and like and subscribe if you haven't, and yeah, bye guys.